Welcome to the Purple Elephant Show. I am your host, KC Phoenix. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad I made it. I'm here in lovely Los Angeles. As I mentioned in the previous episode, we are going through a heat wave. So I did not plug in my lights because I'm trying to conserve a little bit on the electricity to help out the grid, even though I would hope LADWP has everything in order. Fingers crossed. Shout out to Pasadena. I heard that there's some rolling blackouts happening over there. My heart and everything, my thoughts are with you. I hope it works out because it's not cool being hot. So, yeah. As for a special episode today, there is a podcast only episode with a special announcement happening today. So be sure to listen to the podcast, and that takes me to the housekeeping, thepurpleelephantshow.com for the podcast. You can listen to all the podcast episodes, including the podcast only episodes, and you will know it is a podcast only episode by the letters PCO. That will let you know that it is a podcast only episode. The Purple Elephant Show on Parler, The Purple Elephant Show on Instagram, Facebook.com, The Purple Elephant Show. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button followed by the notification bell. That will let you know when I upload videos to the YouTube platform. If you're watching on Dailymotion, if you subscribe to the channel, that will let you know when I upload videos. I think I've covered all the housekeeping for those who listen to podcasts on Apple. If you're watching this, in the details section, there will be a link to the Apple podcast version of the show. Because as I mentioned before, we're on several platforms. It's just I promote the main platform, which is Anchor, which thepurpleelephantshow.com will take you to. But you can look up the show on Apple, Spotify, Google, in like 3 or 4 other podcast platforms that this show is carried on. So it doesn't have to be just the Anchor podcasting platform. The show is carried on several. Now that I got the housekeeping out the way, I said a few days ago, towards the beginning of the week, that, or maybe middle, give or take, that something big was going to happen. I said my intuition was telling me something big was going to happen, and it was going to be bigger than the shooter situation that happened at the White House. And I turned out to be correct. Some people are saying that this is not a big deal. As mentioned before, in the title of the episode, Kevin Clinesmith, he's an ex-FBI lawyer. He is expected to plead guilty to falsifying information. And some people are like, oh, well, that's not a big deal. He's a small fry. No. I need you to, if you're watching this, find a chair. If you're listening to this, find a chair. This won't be long, but I want you to take this information in and take what I'm about to say to you and let it marinate some. Remove the individual from this. Just remove the individual. The individual, Kevin Clinesmith, remove him completely. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it would have been Kevin Clinesmith. It doesn't matter if it would have been James Comey, James Clapper, John Brennan, Sally Yates, whoever, Susan Rice, whoever. Remove the individual from this and look at what happened. Now, for those of you who have been following this for years and you already knew that this whole situation has been a hoax, the media has been lying, lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. For those who have truly been following the details of everything, that know about Fusion GPS, that know about VesselNet Skya, that know about Glenn Simpson, that know about CrowdStrike, that know about Burisma, and all the other stuff and how it all connects. And it is a lot to keep up with. Believe you me. This particular situation speaks volumes. Whether it is covered by the mainstream, which it hasn't really been, it's been lucky to get 30 seconds, or not, this is a big deal because of not who is involved, but what is involved. Remove the who, focus on the what. So, what happened? Documents were falsified, or a document was falsified. And not just any document. It's not like a 302 or something like that was false. And for those, let me back up. Those of you who don't know what 302 is, it's the form the FBI has to fill out after they interview you. So, yeah. It's not like a 302 was falsified, even though some 302s went missing during certain interviews, but these are minor details. The Carter Page, which, mind you, Carter Page was never charged with anything. Carter Page is how this FISA stuff started, with being able to have a window into President Trump's campaign. Well, in the midst of Carter Page being investigated, where they're saying, oh, he's talking to Russians, and there must be something going on with Russians, the FBI was like, okay, we need to find out what the deal is. So the FBI sent correspondence to the intelligence agency, not just any intelligence agency, the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, for those who aren't in the know. And they said, hey, what's up with this guy? As a matter of fact, let me pull my notes here. They were asking if he was an operational contact. And the CIA said, mind you, the CIA. That's what I'm talking about. Remove the who from all of this. Focus on the what. That is why this is a big deal. Because it's in the light now. The CIA said, yes, he is a contact. He's been working with us for years. But the information that was being relayed by Kevin Clinesmith to the FBI said that the CIA said Carter Page was never a source. So, again, remove the who. It doesn't matter who did it. It's the what. What happened? The CIA was asked, do you work with this person? Do you know who this is? What's up with this guy? The CIA was like, oh yeah, we're good. He's one of ours. He's been working with us for years. CIA sent that information. Information was received and twisted around and then relayed back to the FBI. Nope, Carter Page doesn't work with the CIA. The CIA doesn't know who he is. Never heard of him. Haven't seen him before in their life. That is what has come to light. That is a huge deal. Like I said, this isn't altering a 302 or something like that. This is altering a communication directly from the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. Again, let it marinate. The CIA said, yes, we know who Carter Page is. He is one of our operatives. He has worked with us for years. The middle person, like I said, name doesn't even matter. Then it's like, oh, hate Trump, hate Trump, hate Trump, hate Trump. Tells the FBI, nope, CIA said they don't know him, never seen him before. If they saw him on the street, they wouldn't know who that man is. Don't know who he is, and they're the CIA, and they don't know who that man is. Carter Page, yeah, gave that information to the FBI, the inaccurate information to the FBI. Because that inaccurate information was given, that gave the FBI the ability to get a FISA warrant on Carter Page. Because according to what was told to Kevin Clinesmith, CIA doesn't know who Carter Page is. But the CIA said, yes, we do know who Carter Page is. Carter Page is one of our assets. It's not the who, it's the what. That is why this is a big deal. Now, for those of us, like I said, who have been following this for years, we've known this for over a year now. The reason it's a big deal is because the individual who is caught in the middle, who set up this lie, is now set to plead guilty. Because he is set to plead guilty for altering and falsifying evidence, a document, because he falsified the email. The email said that Carter Page was a U.S. asset. He turned the email around and said, no, not a source. Someone had to tell him to do that. There's no way that a low-level person, because he's pretty much low-level in a way, would just, regardless of their feelings, would just on their own say, I will take a communication from the Central Intelligence Agency and alter it and make it say what benefits me. That's not the act of a lone person, or as they say when it comes to other stuff, a lone wolf. You know what I mean? A lone wolf wouldn't do something like that. Wouldn't try to put their job on the line just to do something like that. That attitude, that action had to come from a push. There had to be a push from another source. That is what I believe. Some people say now that he's pleading guilty, he will talk. I'll believe it when I see it. They always say that on all sides, whether you're on the right, whether you're on the left, or whatever. When someone's about to plead guilty, they're like, oh, they're going to tell everything now, and then nothing happens. So I'll believe it when I see it. What I do believe is that he didn't do it on his own. He didn't just wake up one morning and say, oh, this communication from the CIA, I'll change that around. This wasn't, and that's the thing, why in my eyes, and I don't see why some people can't grasp this, that this is such a huge deal. This wasn't a communication like an internal White House email or something. Like you send an email from one department within the White House to another department and then you change it around. No, this was a communication from the Central Intelligence Agency that he took the time to change and alter and falsify to get a FISA warrant. Like I said, that's a huge deal because of where the communication came from. And that's why I believe that there is more to come. I don't necessarily believe it will be because of him per se, because that remains to be seen. But at least now this is out in the light, and people see, hey, something wasn't right here. A communication from the Central Intelligence Agency was falsified to get a warrant, a FISA warrant, that should have never been signed off on. And Sally Yates threw Comey under the bus not too long ago. And somebody else threw Comey under the bus too. I forgot who it was, but it was somebody else that threw James Comey under the bus. But yeah, that's why this is a big deal. I just want to go ahead and cover this. I'm briefly looking at my notes here because I don't always take many notes. I just take some light notes. But with John Durham, he had noted on Friday that the first three FISAs didn't include Page's relationship with the CIA, and wrote that Page went public to claim that he had helped the CIA in the past prior to the FBI's submission of the fourth FISA. So that's just another little thing I pulled from the Washington Examiner. But this is a very big deal because now it's in the court system. Now it is out in the public, whether the media wants to cover it or not. Even though this information has been out in the public and a lot of us have already known this information, now that it is in the court system, that this individual, Kevin Clinesmith, is about to plead guilty, that escalates it to a totally different level versus some type of report from Michael Horowitz or somebody else. This is now in the court system where Kevin Clinesmith is going to plead guilty. And I believe there is more to come. Not necessarily because of him. I'm not picking up that vibe that he's doing all this talking. I personally am not picking up that vibe. But I believe there is more to come, probably after the election. But yeah, that was a big deal. And that's all I got. Don't forget, podcast only episode will have an announcement. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. The Purple Elephant Show for the main podcasting platform. The Purple Elephant Show Parler. The Purple Elephant Show Instagram. At Real TPES on Twitter. The Purple Elephant Show, or actually Facebook.com/The Purple Elephant Show. Swing by, give a like. And yeah, I appreciate you all. Thank you again for watching and listening. Be blessed.